What's up, bro?
Buenos noches, fight fans. How about that for a little bit of Spanish to kick off our UFC Mexico preview? As always, we're so glad you guys are joining us here on YouTube and a variety of other platforms as well. However, you're consuming us, thank you very much for doing so. We are back this week, UFC down south of the border, Matty. That you are pulling a double header right now. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I've still got you with me, and I'm glad you're all prepared and ready to go. So, how you doing, man, my man? How did the last UFC event last week
Bro,
in Houston treat you?
let's not even talk about last week. I don't think anyone made money except Nolan. Did you make money?
I was up 13.4 units last
Oh,
week.
you fucking crushed it. Good shit.
Model 3.0 had a really good night.
Well, at least somebody did because I got absolutely obliterated. Some of the fights were just terrible reads, and some were just so frustrating. But we moved nonetheless.
Remember what I told you about? Remember what I told you about if I hop on the fluffy train, like the 345 train, it was going to come crashing down. Well, that's
Yeah,
what ended up happening, unfortunately, for your
I
guy.
cannot believe that performance from him was so bad.
Yeah. I we had some folks whispering in our chat last week about an injury. It almost looked like a guy that was injured and not quite at full strength. I don't know. Or that Strickland can be tough to get his footwork down, and he's just very unorthodox. So
I
I'm not
know.
sure what it was, but I was hoping for a lot better out of Fluffy for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So what do you think about this card this week in Mexico, man? It's a chalk delight with 13
Yeah.
favorite. I mean, we have like minus 500, minus 600, minus 700 all over the card. What are you thinking this week?
Yeah, a lot of chalk. I didn't really like the card at first glance, but I just broke it down the last hour, so I kind of like it better now. Truthfully,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as I thought, but I thought it was pretty bad at first. So it's
That's
not
Not,
terrible.
not as bad as we thought. Could not hype it up better. Why don't we dive in here then, buddy? Let's look at this first fight up on the card between a couple of Dana White's Contender Series Season 9 alums, Damian Pinhas taking on Wes Schultz. Both of these guys coming off victories through the show. Interesting, they draw each other in their middleweight debut here at this spot, but the line getting a little bit wider. I've got Damian Pinhas up at minus 290 on FanDuel and like approaching minus 300 at some books. So what do you think about this fight, especially when considering the odds here?
Yeah, for sure. I think both guys are live here by their preferred outcome, which is a KO for Pinas, and then Schultz by sub, maybe on the earlier side. But I think Pinas is just too explosive, bro. I think he's going to be able to. He might get taken down once or twice early, but even on the takedown entries, he has some nice highlights where like he's kind of Curtis Blades and Jalton Almeida. I could see that happen here, and I could also see a big left hook. I could see him catching Schultz on the feet or getting some sort of damaging shots on the way in on a Schultz takedown attempt. So I do like the favorite side here by KO.
Interesting. Yeah, I obviously this isn't my lane with a couple of guys making their official UFC debuts here. We saw Schultz also on the Contender Series against Mansour Abdul Malik. It went okay for him at distance until it didn't, and that was in bottom position against a super powerful guy. I do think Pinhas is going to be difficult to grapple, like because I think not only is he a sensational athlete, but he trains at
Mhm.
Nova Uniao with Andre Pederneiras and Jose Aldo, and a really great gym. And a lot of them say this guy is next up, and he's only 23. Schultz at this point kind of has a lot of experience, like he's just been in LFA for a long time, but I kind of see him as like a junkyard dog. Now, he's not the cleanest kickboxer, but he's a guy that's going to come forward. He's going to put combinations together. He's shown to be pretty durable as well. And then, as you mentioned, the grappling pulled off the really great submission on the Contender Series against Mario Mingaj. I want to say I don't remember
Yep.
his name at first glance,
Yep.
but I kind of like Schultz at the odds, but I would also place Pinhas as a favorite. Like I think I'm getting pretty nitpicky that I'd probably put him like minus 160, minus 170 here. So I do expect him to win, but I think the line has gotten a little bit wide, which kind of surprised me because I thought Schultz is a guy that a lot of people were going to like as he started his UFC career.
Yeah, you made a good point about his the Mansour fight. I mean, he survived in what 9 minutes in that fight.
Yeah. Well, he
Um,
was better in the stand-up too. Like until that
yeah,
fight hit the ground and he started tasting some of the ground and pound, that's when it stopped it. And he didn't go out cold either. It was just more of a, kind of got turtled up there.
yeah. I'm not too confident on either side here, bro. But you could probably sell me on a Schultz play here. But this one's tough.
Yeah, and I don't know. Obviously, something we'll talk about several times tonight is the elevation at Mexico City. I don't really know whose cardio I feel better about. Like, I don't know who that would
Yeah.
favor. If this fight went later because Schultz theoretically the guy grappling, and he's been the guy of the two that's gone to a decision. All the other fights for these guys combined haven't gone outside 10 minutes. So, do we have a total at Hard Rock or other books with this
Yeah,
fight?
it's expensive. I know the fight did not go the distance,
Oh.
like really expensive.
Yeah, it is. And then even further, it's about a pick 'em to start round 2. So that type of fight definitely favors Pinhas.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
but I think that the longer it goes, Schultz potentially weathering the storm, and there's not a lot of footage of Pinhas in bottom position either, so it could end really badly there. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of favorites on this card that I think you could look to. This is not one of them that stands out as I gotta back this dude.
Yeah, under 1.5's minus 190. That's actually not terrible. I thought it'd be more expensive.
Big edge Pinhas, I think, if it's, like, expecting an early finish, that's
Yeah,
this guy's hands are no joke.
for sure.
Alrighty, why don't we move on to the largest favorite on the entire card, which is kind of hysterical in some ways. Francis Fire Marshall taking on Eric Silva. This is another spot in Mexico for Silva. Last one didn't go so well. He tore his ACL seconds into his fight against Mohamed Naimov. We'll run it back against a guy in Francis Marshall that hasn't always had the best luck in decisions. Had the William Gomis split as well as the last fight against Myron Santos not go his way as well. So Matty, I think they're going with the younger, more athletic guy here. American top team product, really well trained and a good pedigree against a guy in Silva that hasn't had a lot of UFC success and is
Yeah,
approaching 40. Is this one as easy as the odds look?
I think so. I like Marshall. I like the competition he's fought. I don't think anyone think he won that fight against was it Santos. But I was at that fight live, and everyone thought it was a robbery. The whole stadium was shocked.
I did too.
But he's very well rounded. So we had Grant Dawson. Show Me the Money podcast actually just went up like an hour ago, guys. It's live right now with me and Grant Dawson. And Dawson said that Marshall is the one guy, top team, that actually choked him out unconscious. So he said his submission grappling is actually very good. And bro, I was fucking shocked. Plus 105, the sub is down to for Marshall, which
Gee,
I was shocked how short that number was. The KO's plus 275. I was like, damn, I wanted like plus 250 on the sub here because I would play that in a cycle lay. But plus 105 is so bad, bro. What is going on?
what is going on is right, and that's such a convincing statement for a guy when you look at a lot of his substance. He has 2 total submission attempts in UFC. They were both
Yeah.
in the Gomi fight. It's not that I don't think that he is a really good wrestler and probably an underrated grappler at this point. Like you said, it's a price thing. It's like, do I have that much faith in his grappling that it's going to be like? And what about also the ground and pound, where he comes? We've seen
Exactly.
him deploy that attack as well. I
Yeah.
almost think I pivot if you like Marshall and to like
I
a
would play
potential.
either. I'd play either one at plus 275. So I think I have to play the KO, bro.
Yeah, it's very interesting. When I think Silva's stand up is probably mediocre, I don't really know what to hang my hat on with him, like where I think he'll challenge Marshall at this point, because he had trouble in bottom position and a lot of it against TJ Brown. Eventually gave up the triangle choke there. And like his other appearance besides that, besides tearing his ACL, was on the Contender Series back in 2022. So I just don't know a lot about him. I don't know if he was very good to begin with, and Marshall's a guy I backed him against Santos. I backed him against Dolgarian, which does not look good in hindsight. I wish I got the version of Dolgarian that was tossing fights, which we found last week. Guilty by charge, but guilty is charged. But yeah, I don't know if I have a particular method of victory with Marshall here. I will
Yeah.
say Silva's durability seems to be fading, so
Yeah.
maybe I sweat this to get outside the first round, or
Yeah.
um,
I kind of think if you're going to play the sub, just play it early, bro.
yeah.
And people in the chat are making a good point. I mean, 4 submission wins, only 1 KO win. I guess that's why we're looking at the odds that the way they are. I just didn't think that the sub would be that short. But let's see. Let's see what it is. Round 1 sub. Just out of curiosity. Round 1 sub is plus 650.
Well, at plus 650.
No, no, I'm
That's a
an
good.
idiot. I'm an idiot. Plus
Uh,
325. Round
I
one
was
K
gonna
is plus 650.
I was going to tell you that the number that stood out to me when I was looking at method and rounds was the round one KO, because I could see
That's plus 650.
Marshall saying, if I close the distance, that's Silva's best chance in this fight. And we've seen him drop two different guys in UFC. So maybe
Yeah.
Silva totally washed. I go Marshall round one KO. Seems kind of long for a guy this big of a favorite.
Yeah, round one finish is plus 175. Honestly, that's not a bad number for a
It's
minus
not.
720 favorite, bro.
It's not. I
I think
might
I'm gonna
ladder.
play that in a round one parlay.
Yeah.
I like
We got a little bit of pushback from one of our guys at Home of Picks about maybe this line was a little wide for Marshall, and I get it because he's kind of Marshall's tape isn't great, but he's also in this super evolutionary window where I trust his team, and you know the American top team
Yeah,
guys well. I think this is the best gym in the world for this type of weight class, so I trust that experience, and I trust he's getting better every day in the gym.
I agree with you.
All righty. Why don't we move forward here to this next fight? Our girl, Ernesta Karachkate, we've been on her several times before, taking on a new opponent. This was supposed to be Sofia Montenegro from the Contender Series. In steps Regina Tarin from the undefeated 21-year-old from Mexico. She's 3-0 in combat at Global. We don't have odds on this one. We don't have anything offshore. I found out who Regina Tarin was less than 24 hours ago. So I've been doing a little bit of homework today. Matty, what do you think? Because we're generally pro Ernesta here, and we just got to kind of find out what the odds are going to be and what we'd play who at.
I think Regina's like a plus 150 dog. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, but I'm not positive there. So maybe someone in the chat can tell us. But I think she's live, bro. I think she's live dog. She's like, it's crazy because Ernesta is actually taller, but this girl looks super tall, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate that height is, or they're probably pretty similar in height here. But I think Regina's kind of good. I watched a little bit of tape on her. I don't know how fast she is, but she's well rounded for sure. It's a big step up for her, but I think she's live dog here in Mexico City, bro, or Mexico.
Yeah, I think we have the right amount of cynicism because we've been Ernesta guys, and a lot of people have not been. They kind of don't really understand Karachkate's build and her archetype. The thing that concerns me about her is that when she's in these close fights, like she was against Barbosa, there's just not a lot of pop in the shots. And so a lot of times she'll lose on moments, she'll lose on damage. We got offshore odds there, Ernesta minus 220, Tarin plus 185. It's not the best circumstances, but I think Tarin is a hammer there because she's shown really good jiu-jitsu. I think anytime you see any of these prospects and they've got real killer finishing instinct, like I saw a nasty armbar from her today, it's very rare.
Too.
Yeah, and I think our slide is correct there. They're not making them cut all the way down to 125, which will help Tarin on short notice as well. So
yeah, I like the dog side, bro.
I think I do too, which we're Karachkate guys. So that's kind of a really interesting thing. I'm hoping this thing gets on shore so I can play it closer. I'd like to play it closer to plus 185 than plus 150, but we'll see what number we can get.
I'm with you.
All righty, buddy. Why don't we move forward here to this next fight up at featherweight? We got Douglas Silva DeAndrade taking on Javier Reyes. Reyes, a big star from the Contender Series. He's just a violent, nasty first-round finish there. Now Douglas De Silva here is moving up in weight. He's 40 years old, coming off a loss to Miles Johns back at bantamweight. So, Matty, typically when we see these older guys moving up in weight, it can get ugly quickly. Reyes is a minus 250 favorite here, which is kind of in that zone where maybe we should double check things. But what do you think about this matchup?
I was looking at Reyes by decision here, bro, because Douglas is just durable as shit. Like, he only been finished by Peter Yan, and then one other time he was choked, I think.
Yeah.
But 40 years old gives you some hesitancy there for sure. But I think at this weight class, I think he's just up against a bigger guy here. I'm going to go Reyes by decision, but I'm not confident on this match whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not super confident on the method of victory because Douglas De Silva has been a tough out. We haven't really seen him submitted in a lot of different areas or anything like that. And I feel like the chin is even maintained pretty well, but that was at 135. And Reyes is a guy that is going to walk forward, look to inflict damage. I tend to trust De Silva's durability here too myself, so I kind of am leaning a little bit later, especially coming off a first round KO. But honestly, I think minus 250 is fine, dude. I don't think that's terrible odds to win the fight overall because I think Reyes' activity is higher, and De Silva's this guy that has lost close decisions based on not having enough volume and not doing enough. Like the Johns fight was that to a T. So maybe Reyes isn't quite as impressive as he was on the Contender Series, but he's the much bigger guy, aggressive, moves forward. I really have a hard time not seeing him get his hand raised here.
Yeah, I'm with you. We got our first super chat of the show. We got Chairez KO, Luna sub, Zellhuber decision. You guys got to give us the odds. Give us the odds, bro, if you want to get picked. Remember, guys, you can submit a super chat, and I'm going to pick one person that gets $50 of free action on the site on their cycle or their long shot. Solid first one here. I like the first leg for sure.
Okay. Oh, how about that for a preview? We'll get to that fight. I may not disagree. That's good stuff. But why don't we move on here? Matty, it feels like we're going to go quickly through this because it's like, unless you really want to raise your hand and say, I'm getting out of the way of the chalk here, some of these matchups are really, it's hard to even make an argument for the underdog. I feel that a little bit about this one here the same way. Christian Quinonez taking on Chris Moutinho. This is at bantamweight. It's not at 170. I think that would help Moutinho's chin a little bit if it was at 170. This is at 135, as the weight graphic says there. And Quinonez is approaching Francis Marshall for the largest favorite on the card. I see him up to minus 700 in some spots, even though he hasn't had a ton of success in UFC. So what do you think, Matty? Is Moutinho live whatsoever here to get his first UFC win in 4 tries?
I don't think he's ever. I think this is his last UFC fight, bro. It's just a matter of does he survive or not, which I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I actually really like a prop here. It feels to me like in his first 3 matchups, Moutinho really got shielded from like any sort of grappling threat. I think he's kind of a white belt, and so he took on O'Malley, striker, Canetti, more of a boxer, and then got Malcolm Wellmaker in his return fight, which was not the most friendly matchup, and it was a violent KO. So I think the attrition is starting to mount here, but I kind of like Quinonez sub here. Because Quinonez has 3 regional subs. We've seen him in there with Kyung Ho Kang and Raoni Barcelos. And really, Quinonez was getting some of the better in scrambles of Barcelos until he ultimately got caught in the 3rd round. And that's because you know how much I love Raoni Barcelos. I think
he's good.
Mad underrated. So I feel a little bit of that was Quinonez and the level of competition he's faced, because in his debut, he knocked out Khalid Taha. We're still kind of looking to find the middle ground with where he belongs from an ability perspective. Chris Moutinho can't win UFC fights, though. 14.68 significant strikes absorbed per minute is the highest on this card, which says a lot. Only a 29% striking defense. That means, Matty, opponents are landing 7 out of 10 punches they throw at this dude. He is a heavy bag. I just don't see how he wins in the stand-up here. And then I think this is the first legitimate grappling threat he's had in UFC, too. So,
600, bro.
I like the Quinonez sub angle here.
I'm in. I'm sold. I'm in.
Nice. Let's do it. And that's kind of how I think you bet this one, because now he's at a spot where, do you really want to hang your hat on Quinonez at minus 700? Hey Jive asked me that question, made me realize there's a little bit of degenerate inside me at all, because I already did on Monday. I put out my CLV parlay in the Home of Fight Discord, which I'll plug that. We got a link in the episode description. My free picks. We've also got really good premium picks in the Discord as well.
We got our second super chat of the show. Nice and early today, boys.
Oh, okay.
Macy by sub, Borjas decision, Chairez KO, 300 to 1.
306 to 1 almost.
That's crazy one, bro.
What's the long? I guess Borjas decision is probably a 10 to 1 on its own, and then Chiasson sub is what, 22 to 1 maybe?
Yeah, both those are huge legs. I like the Chairez KO prop. The other 2 are tough. I think Borjas is KO or bust, truthfully, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't wait to talk about that one, just because Emmanuel Rodriguez is, I think he's a stud. But why don't we move forward here away from one that maybe to one that's a little bit more competitive? First fight I was actually able to model on this card as well. Eileen Perez taking on Macy Chiasson, and buried on the prelims is a fight that I think actually means a lot. kind of around the bantamweight title picture. Last week with Jocelyn Edwards, I hinted, we don't really have a good sense of who's going to be next up when Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes decide to walk away. I mentioned Eileen Perez last week, and now Jocelyn Edwards, you see what she did last week, a nasty slam of Nora Cornell, which I felt so bad for Nora. I think she broke her collarbone on that slam. It's big time stuff from Jocelyn, and Perez has a win over her. So I think that's one among the reasons she's minus 186 here against Chiasson. What do you think about this matchup, man?
I like Perez here by decision. I think she needs to get like a double leg takedown early, get on top and wear her down. I think she can win the first 2 rounds, maybe give us a scare late. But I like Perez on the decision here. Let me see what that is. I think it's like plus 160 or something.
Mm-hmm. That's honestly not a bad number.
I might be wrong. Let me check. Oh no, minus 115.
Yeah, I've got it plus 135.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough.
Perez can finish her though.
Maybe ground and pound. Perez is a little bit more aggressive than like a Norma Dumont or a Ketlin Vieira. Vieira is just so frustrating. Her lack of activity, like she doesn't do anything to actually try to finish or progress the fight. But Chiasson, we saw in that Vieira fight, she has really struggled from bottom position, and I just am continuing to find myself wanting to buy the improvement of Perez. What if I told you like 3 years ago she would have a fight against Carol Hosso where she never really got her takedowns going and still won the fight? Like it's crazy improvement. And one of my smallest favorite gyms in UFC is the Goat Shed with Kevin Vallejos and Perez. And I really like that gym that's down there in South Florida. And I think they're producing some of these guys. Gosh, I forget who the kid was on the Contender Series that had the massive upset win. He was in a car accident and he played football, and now I can't remember his name. Maybe the chat knows ball a little bit better than me, but I like what they're doing down there at that gym. And then this is an easy Fortis MMA fade for me too, which like there's just not a lot of momentum coming out of Fortis. I've said that Perez by way of twerk. She is well known for that twerk. She actually has that as her Tapology picture, which is hilarious. Like the win over Železnikova. But I think she's fun for this division, man. She is improving all the time. A really aggressive, powerful style. There's a big size advantage, and then maybe I feel stupid because I laid the chalk with Perez, and then Chiasson's able to use her length, get her jab going, that type of thing, and circle around, and just has more high level experience. But I don't quite have Perez in value range. I have her minus 158 to win, as I mentioned, plus 135 by decision. But those odds specifically mean this is a stay away from me, like on the money line, and I'm picking Perez to win, probably in a longer fight, just like you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
A lot of agreement from us so far. That's good stuff. Hopefully we can keep it rolling here. Into this next fight, which is the actual featured prelim of the evening here, believe it or not. Ryan Gandra taking on Jose Daniel Medina. Medina 0-3 in UFC. Gandra coming off the... Can we skip this? Oh, can we skip to the main event? I got you. I got homework. Well, we're moving pretty quick. I think this one will be kind of quick as well. Gandra minus 720 all the way up to on FanDuel and climbing. Matty, Jose Daniel Medina is a guy that's made a lot of friends just from being tough and never really giving up, but that's kind of been it so far. Do you see something in him that makes you think he could pull the upset?
Definitely not. This guy used to be a heavyweight is what Dan was saying, which I didn't know that. I think he ragdolls him, bro. I like the sub plus 200. I think it's a solid number here for a 7-1 favorite.
What's KO?
KO's plus 140, but we've seen Medina get choked out. We know he has, he's known for his chin and surviving. So I kind of think it plays into the sub route. If he gets on his back and like you're just scared that it's ground and pound, but the sub should be right there. So I do like it a lot. Plus 200.
Yeah, I kind of like I'll deploy this sometimes. I kind of like a 5-minute sweat here to see if he can make it out of first round because he is a tough guy and Gandra's not really a huge sub threat. And I could see this fight kind of taking that where Gandra tries to punch him in the face and get him out of there that way to a point where he eventually has to lock up a choke because it's just not going to happen. And, Zach Reese didn't find a way to finish him. Pretty big, physical, imposing guy for this division. I don't think Gandra is a super great prospect by any means. Like, I kind of feel like his Contender Series fight was a setup. This one feels kind of like a setup. To me, it's building to a really big fade Ryan Gandra spot, but it is not here. I mentioned Moutinho doesn't win UFC fights. Jose Daniel Medina might be even worse. The offense is really the harder sell here, that he's landed just 2.1 significant strikes per minute, defended only 27% of the takedowns he's faced. So I think he is going to give up at least a couple of takedowns here, end up in bottom, and it's going to get ugly.
We got a third super chat of the show. We got we got Rodriguez decision, Chairez KO, Moreno sub 34-1. He says, I think Kevin Borjas is going to get roughed up, but managed to survive.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one, bro.
That's a tough draw for Borjas because, like, I kind of like him in general.
I want to take Borjas by KO ever since the Lazy Boy fight. I'm waiting for that spot to take the KO on him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just sucks for this matchup, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Rodriguez has definitely got his vitamin conditioning program down pat, but Medina 186, Chris Moutinho. It's funny you say that. I actually think that's a perfect comparison. A guy that is, he can take fights. What kills me is Medina will get hit by like a four punch combination, and then he'll like wave to the crowd like, "Come on, like cheer me on." Yeah,
but it didn't work. He did that and then took a knee to the face last time he did that. So
right, and it's interesting. I think. You mentioned Dan's point about him being a heavyweight. That's just the skill gap between what you can get away with on the regional heavyweight scene. And when you cut weight, and even when you're in your better shape, these middleweights are good. Like they're legitimately good. We saw that last week with Strickland. But just a tough spot for Medina. So I think Gandra, and I'm probably going to do the sweat that always makes me a little nervous. What is fight starts round 2 here?
Let me see. Fight to reach round 2 is minus 170.
Minus 170. So they are expecting a little bit of length here.
It's crazy.
That kind of brings in the elevation, and Gandra hasn't been past the first round a lot too. So gosh, I wonder if there's just no way I could ever pick Gandra to be
ready for this one. Medina round 3 plus 4,000.
I think if you're gonna play him, that's the type of. And by the way, he's a white belt, so just throw KO on there and get the other 10-1 out of it. Make it 50-1.
There you go.
All righty, man. Let's take a look before we hop up onto the main card, though. Wanted to remind you about our home of picks, guys. And you guys got me in trouble because you got to make sure you DM the right account on Instagram, okay? It's home of picks. Home HOF picks is the Instagram account. You DM home of fight, they're just going to get annoyed with you. You got to go to home of fight picks, HOF picks on Instagram, or you can visit that URL that Maddie put in the chat there with Winnable. You can use code HOF for 7 days free. Or if you go to the right spot and tell them Austin sent you, you potentially get some picks on IG. If you don't go to the right spot, you might get blocked. So you got to be careful. Listen to my instructions carefully because you do want a piece of Nolan and Hayden's picks as well. Nolan's won 13 events in a row. That's just crazy. 13 events in a row in UFC, as well as Jive has been crushing it on the DFS front. And I just know the couple of weeks he's had down with betting, that monsoon, that storm is coming where he's going to dang near sweep something. So you want in on those guys' picks. That's how you do it. Listen to my instructions and let's not get anybody in trouble this week. Okay. Yeah. Why don't we move up onto the main card here?
Got another super chat real quick.
Ooh, okay.
Decision, Chairez sub, Pinhas KO plus 2,200. He's given a Chairez sub for the replacement last card. It would have cashed the cycle. Chairez sub's actually interesting, bro. I like the KO, but it's not that much longer. The sub's actually kind of short, so it's very interesting. Honestly, I'm gonna take.
I had round props circled in that Chairez fight, so I am willing to listen to both.
Dude, I'm on 2-3. 2-3.
Yes.
The 2-3 it has to hit, bro. I'll be shocked.
I don't have a strong conviction one way or another, but I guess I need to ask you if you got a strong conviction one way or another up in this fight here. One of the fastest moving lines this week has been this one. Santiago Luna had that big moment at Noche UFC. He knocked out Kang Lee, who was a guy that really had a good reputation in a fight that was a sort of pick'em sort of fight. Now it almost feels like he's kind of stepping back in competition, but a different type of matchup against Angel Pacheco with the New England Cartel guys. So here's another one of these guys from Mexico. Not a ton of experience, but he is a gigantic minus 620 favorite here. When we circle spots of where the chalk, like where the hometown chalk could go wrong, do you have Luna sort of on that short list, or does this one feel pretty safe too?
I think this is one of the safer ones. I don't think Pacheco's that good, bro. He has no head movement. I mean, Luna by KO is plus 165, sub is plus 240, decisions plus 325 is kind of shorter. Well,
Wait, say that again because
plus
it was
325, KOs plus 165, and subs plus 240.
Wow, KO's kind of short when it feels like Pacheco's been pretty durable in 2 fights so far. I mean, he was in a war with Danny Silva that was up at 145, and then survived Loughran, who I know Keelan Loughran's not very good, but he is a power puncher.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, plus 325 is a decision.
Yeah, it's actually plus 410 at FanDuel. I'm gonna have to get in on that number.
That's a crazy number.
That is a great number, plus 410 on FanDuel. And to me, it kind of is also just a process fade of Luna had that big moment early against a guy in Kang Lee that's had some chin issues at different various times in his career. But Pacheco's been super durable, and I sort of like fading that outcome. But Luna, I think, is a very good prospect. I agree with you, Matty, where I didn't give him his flowers. Now, there is still the lack of regional experience scares me a little, but he was incredibly impressive. And Pacheco is another one of these guys, like a Moutinho, like a Medina, where 41% striking defense actually absorbs more significant strikes per minute than Medina does, 11.47. So he's just been another one of these guys that just cannot take damage. And then you throw in a 28% takedown defense as well. That would concern me for a potential sub here. I don't know what Luna's jiu-jitsu credits.
Yeah, plus 240. It's not bad.
Yeah. And that would
concern that's been durable on the feet.
Because the thing you can say about the 2 matchups for Pacheco so far, they were not submission threats. I feel like Luna has a little bit more of that to offer. So I'd have to look here what you could get sub decision. Well, sub decision's plus 100, and you get both of them.
Santiago, Luna has 4 wins by submission, 56% of his wins. He's come in 2 straight KOs, but had a sub in 2 of his 3 fights prior to that. Actually, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 of his last 5 after the KOs were all subs, bro. Plus 240, bro. I got to sign me up for that, dude. Against a durable guy on the feet, against Danny Silva, I think the sub makes a ton of sense here.
Yeah.
I'm liking it a lot right now.
Wait, do you do what I do, by the way? Because you and I are cycle guys, we're prop guys. I want to make sure that I have at least a short list of some KOs and some subs and some decisions. And if I'm dead on the fence about one or another and I got a lot of subs on the card and I don't have a lot of knockouts, maybe I'll play the knockout. You know what I mean?
I've done
when
I do that though.
Yeah, well, you gotta kind of like figure out exactly. It's like, okay, we're probably not gonna get 6 subs in a row, but I do like that Luna sub decision number at plus 100. If that's basically betting on Angel Pacheco's chin, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it is true that New England Cartel, they're well known as boxers that are very good at defending from bottom position. But that you and I talked about that decision number in that plus 300 range. We're gonna have a business decision to make which one of those might be better. But
for sure,
I think both of us are kind of leaning fade KO there. No,
I think so. I think you have to.
Okay. That feels very rooted in our tradition. So we'll discuss further, I guess, off air before we get to official cycle time. But maybe this next one up will have a cycle entrant. You really never know. I teased earlier in the show, Imanol Rodriguez, one of the brightest prospects that we saw on the Contender Series last season. He was actually on the Ultimate Fighter as well. Ended up dropping a split decision to Joseph Morales there that has not aged horribly whatsoever. And El Gallo Negro, Kevin Borjas on the other side, got the win over Lazy Boy, played spoiler in Mexico once already. Certainly would love to do it again and really solidify his roster spot here, Matty. So what do you think of this matchup of a couple of young guys?
I had Borjas by KO over Renato Rodriguez, bro, and I was like, give this dude the best chin in the UFC after that fucking outing. Like, that's how good it was.
Yep.
I could not believe Borjas didn't KO him. It was insane. It reminded me of like a prime Drew Dober someone beating down Drew Dober in his prime chin era. It literally reminded me of that. I want to take Borjas by KO, not in this spot, bro. Yeah, I see I think plus 750, bro, I can get, which is a crazy good number, but I just can't do it here as much as I want to. I hate this fight. Rodriguez by K is only plus 125, and then Borjas K is plus 750.
Wow.
You can get the fight to end by KO like minus 115.
I haven't really seen anything concerning about Borjas because Borjas's KO loss to Alessandro Costa came from ground and pound.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen anything concerning about his chin at distance that would make me want to have anything to do with Imanol at plus 125 for a KO.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually
Rodriguez's decision in the cycle too. I think one of the last super chats.
Yeah. One of them that I put in, one of them that I had noted down here is like Imanol 1-2 sub, just because Borjas is, when you look at his level of competition, Lazy Boy couldn't get him down, but other than that, Sumi Darji, Alessandro Costa just went with ground and pound, and then Josh Van, certainly at that point in his career, was not a guy that was a huge submission threat either. So I think Imanol's super well. This dude is a tank. Really, the question for him is whether he's going to continue to be able to close distance and make up for being definitely on the smaller side, even for this division. But I mean, he to me, this guy is just so super well trained. At the gym in Tijuana, I forget the name of it, with Michael Morales and a bunch of other guys too. So there's something about these guys when you see them in the Contender Series, it just feels like they're next up. Borjas is not a guy that I want to be opposed to, but Imanol was a guy that I locked into my CLV parlay because one way or another, I feel like he's the best wrestling threat Borjas has faced. Super powerful, incredibly incredibly well-rounded. You guys shouldn't make me laugh at inappropriate stuff. But incredibly well-rounded. And this number is getting bigger and bigger throughout the week here. And I think it's just because Borjas, as a one-dimensional striker, just hasn't been super successful in some of those other types of matchups. So Lazy Boy is not a guy that you and I have been super high on. So that win doesn't do a ton for me, other than his granite chin, which maybe we'll have a decision prop in the cycle one day. Is Lazy Boy still on the roster? Did they cut him?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll have a decision.
He's a popular guy, bro.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not horrible.
He's got a good Instagram following, and he's very he's funny and entertaining.
Yeah. He's not horrible. I hope he can stick around. I by the way, what's up? Did Rosas not have a matchup on this card? Like, did they not get him ready?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but I thought we would have seen Rosas every time we went south of the border, but I don't know what happened there. All right. Why don't we move on to a fight that I teased one earlier? Matty's been teasing this one twice. He can't contain his excitement here with Piro Chicali. Edgar Chairez taking on Felipe Bunes. Chairez definitely one of the most popular Mexican fighters on the roster right now, whether or not he's got championship aspirations or anything like that. But I definitely think Chairez is a guy that has outperformed his talent level. He's fed in there with some absolute killers. And now he's back sort of at the entry level with Felipe Bunes. So Matty, what do you think about this matchup, which of course is going to be a favorable matchup to Chairez, but how favorable is it, I guess?
I think this is one of the most confident finishes on the card for Chairez. It's minus 115 just to take him inside the distance. I do like the KO prop maybe for a cycle, but I also am scared that Felipe is going to shoot into a submission, bro, because Chairez jumps guillotine. If Felipe's hurt, he could sub him. But Chairez hurt Josh Van. Bro, this guy's good, dude. I love Edgar Chairez. He has some good performances and wins and losses. So I think he gets a finish here, probably round 2.
I was about to leave this show and leave this stream and go dump everything that I could find in my balance on Chairez, like ITD, if our number was right there. It is not. Chairez points is plus 300 at FanDuel, and then inside the distance is minus 125. I was about to dump everything I had in plus money ITD right here. Crazy, I had to double check, but I think you and I talked about it before. Bunes is another one of these guys that we're seeing on this card, man, and to me, I feel like he's the worst gasser on this card.
Yeah,
it feels like
Chairez is fucking money, bro. Round 2, 3.
Yeah, and I like round 2, 3 KO because I think he's a guy with super heavy hands. Probably doesn't want to mix it up with Bunes on the ground. I could just see him pouring it on. Like, if
jumping guillotine on him is so risky, bro. There's no reason to do that, but he did it against Tyra, didn't he?
Yes, he did it twice against Tatsuro
That's
Taira.
the problem.
A
Yeah.
lot of people thought that, but at the same time, Tyro was a much better prospect. It was on short notice. Maybe he felt like a Hail Mary sort of quality to that fight.
Yeah.
Whereas Bunes, I think he's just going to win by simply being there in the second round and sticking to his boxing. I don't know. I don't think Chairez knows how good his boxing is. It is definitely a
He's a
plus
big guy,
attribute.
good reach.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is that I have a tough time getting my arms around him because we hear all about his jujitsu and stuff. And usually when we've seen it, it has been guys shooting into him. He actually hasn't landed a takedown in UFC yet. And I don't think he'd be advised to do it here.
Yeah.
But Bunes has struggled with weight issues. We're up at elevation in Mexico City. It's like I see it so clearly is that Chairez, maybe he's on bottom position in round one and Bunes has a good first round. Maybe that's a live entry spot, like betting Chairez on Poly Market or wherever you can do it. And then Chairez comes storming back, crowds going crazy. Like I feel like I can visualize this fight really well. Hey, shout out. Yes, sir. Fellow member of Clips Nation. Yes, sir. Shout out.
Yeah, 2-3 is a hammer, bro. Chairez inside the distance and 2-3 is a hammer.
Yes. Okay, so maybe we think about bookmarking Chairez in the safe parlay. We'll by the way, how hot is the
By the
safe
way,
parlay?
the money line is cheap, bro. Minus
Yeah.
320. Is it still around that?
I have to say, of the things about this fight, though, Matty, the money
Yeah.
line is a little scary for me because of how willing Chairez is to play from bottom position. And then all of a sudden you're sweating it because he stayed on bottom for 2 rounds and did the judges award damage or not. And you're kind of sweating that sort of dynamic. So that's why the money line scares me a little bit.
It is.
But
It does feel cheap though. Like I
Yeah.
thought, I would have him as like a minus 500 here. I just think he's a matchup nightmare for Felipe.
yeah, I definitely feel like he's behind the first tier of favorites, but really a lot would have to go wrong for
true.
Chairez to lose that fight.
Agreed.
So why don't we move up onto this third fight here? Shocker, it's another wide line here with a favorite from Mexico. It's this time, though, it's Daniel Zellhuber, who trains here in the U.S. with Extreme Couture. He's taking on Bobby King Green, which might be a sort of PTSD-inducing matchup because the last time he faced a 39-year-old striker, he lost to Michael Johnson last summer. Now he gets Bobby King Green in his bracket. I guess I should call him King. That's like his legal first name now. I gotta put some respect on it. But
I'm not calling him King until he wins the fight, bro. He's Bobby.
Other than Lance Gibson, because Gibson he was able to turn away in December in the weirdest late notice fight that didn't really need to happen, and it looked exactly kind of like you thought it was going to. But what do you think about King in this spot against Zellhuber, trying to pull another big upset as he has a couple of times?
You know what happened last time King Green fought a striker with the 77-inch reach?
Oh, what happened?
Jalen Turner starched him.
Oh no.
Yeah. I gotta buy low on a Zellhuber KO here, bro. I just think 6-inch reach advantage. King Green with his hands down. King Green going through so many knockout blows. Freaking Mauricio Rufy, Jalen Turner. What was the recent one? Who did he get knocked out?
Those are the most 2 recent ones for him. And he had the sub to Patty. And then also the knockout loss to Dober back in 2020.
Dober, thank you. Yeah, those are the 3 I was thinking of. The dude's 39. He got put out cold by Dober, Rufy, and what was the third one?
Dober, Rufy,
and Jalen Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Zellhuber, you're kind of getting a good price on this KO just because he struggled in his last fight against Michael Johnson. I gotta play it plus 140.
It's plus 140. How many drops does Zellhuber even have in UFC? He's got 2 total, and in a lot of long fights.
So you don't like the KO?
No, and here we go with we've gotten along and we've agreed on so many of these. This is a model 3.0 heat check. I've got Bobby Green favored here, and it's not a small favorite, 55.2%. When you look at how the guy who fought Michael Johnson less than 10 months ago, how is that guy beating a guy than King Green that's been better? King has gone into the rankings. I understand your concerns about his hand placement, but when you look at this guy, he has the best striking defense at lightweight of a guy with 10 starts that's still in the division that's not Islam. And
Mhm.
so what that means is he really doesn't get hit very often, even though he leaves his hands low. He has special eyes, and Zellhuber's not even a guy that I think has a lot of power. I love green points here. It was like the number one prop that I circled here. I don't think he's
Yeah.
putting Zellhuber out. Daniel's shown to be a super durable guy. Like Rybovic was laying it on him, and he was able to find a way to fight to the finish. Zellhuber, I think, in many ways resembles that Mexican fighting spirit, that heart, because you see it every time, even if things aren't going his way. MJ is way better than King Green. That is insane. That is an insane take. When did MJ knock out Grant Dawson? When did MJ go into the rankings? I guess the Tony Ferguson loss. But remember what he did to Jim Miller? You and I had this argument about Jim Miller, and
Yeah.
Jim cracked him early, but then from there,
But Bobby
sort of
fucking
bluff.
pieces up these shorter, smaller guys, bro. The reach is a concern for me.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, look, I would definitely sprinkle on Bobby by decision for sure.
What I guess plus 600 is what we have listed there. Is it
Yeah.
right around that range then?
Um,
It's plus 550 on FanDuel, so maybe.
yeah, I see plus 650 on Hard Rock.
We say Grant Dawson KO is a fluke, but we now have a prolonged sample of if Dawson can't get his takedowns, his stand-up is really bad, and he seems to be kind of chinny. So I felt it was a fluke in the moment, and I do think Dawson would beat Bobby if they fought 100 times, like 80 to 85 times.
Agreed.
But it is an outcome that is viable, I just I think you can get around it. I have Bobby inside the distance like plus 700, and that's even with him favored. So I don't even feel like I have to go money line here. I can just go points.
Yeah, I get it. I like both angles. I like the decision prop on Bobby's side and then the KO on Zellhuber.
Yeah,
But
I mean, what's Zellhuber ITD then?
It's probably even money.
Plus 100.
You
nailed it.
Yeah, plus 100.
The submission is interesting because, like, we've seen Bobby. Remember when he just randomly tried to take down Patty and ended up
That was the weirdest thing ever. Yeah,
that almost felt like a guy.
Zellhuber's that dangerous though. There,
if he goes for a takedown and do a submission against Zellhuber, King is out here diving for the UFC in spots because he dove against Patty in England.
Yeah, this comments it's just durability, bro. I'm with you. I mean, if the fight goes all 3 rounds, Bobby's probably outstriking him.
Yeah. He does have the lowest. So I have this attrition metric that I built up. I've sort of made it like a gas tank, like how much damage a guy has less to withhold. I've got Bobby Green at like 17%, which means he's definitely at the end of his rope to a point where when the tank is empty, the fighter theoretically shouldn't even survive any fight that they take. So it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. Wow, Green plus 3.5 plus 160. Really interesting angle just to like take a round. He took a round late against Fiziev as well. So I don't know. I've been a King Green guy forever, and I know Matty has. Matty and I've had the same fight argument about King Green fights like 3 or 4 times.
I've made a lot taking Bobby to get finished. The Patty fight, the Roofie fight.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I had in the Jadober fight. I think I had Dober by KO, but I don't remember. But I get it. The number sucks.
Yeah. It's I didn't even get the Holy Grail, what was King Green against Dawson, like plus 500 or something, and I didn't even get that. I wasn't even on him that night. But alrighty, why don't we move on to the co-main event and see if what do we got? I know this is off topic. Josh Hokett, Curtis Blade. Boy, isn't that a big step for Hokett right away, man?
It's insane. I mean, but it makes sense because it's the heavyweight division. I think they're trying to propel him pretty quickly because the heavyweight division needs it.
Is it crazy to think he competes with Curtis Blades, though? I mean, Curtis is a guy that's just not been able to separate particularly well recently.
Yeah. I think Hokett wins, though.
All right, we'll say
that gets smashed. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interject here, boys, but what are you talking about?
These hands are fucking nice, dude. And Jailton Almeida took him down how many times?
Nah, Curtis Blades smash all day. Sorry, continue with the show.
I mean, I've been a Curtis Blades guy forever. I appreciate the interruption with our producer Jake stepping in and be like, why don't we put a little respect on Curtis's name? It's a good fight, and I think it's a big step for Hokett, and even if he loses it, it's not the end of the road. But why don't we turn our attention here to this co-main event at bantamweight? David Martinez, not a guy I think when he came off the Contender Series with a decision, a lot of people thought would be kind of carrying the flag for ranked fighters from Mexico. but he is. He got the upset of Rob Font. He moves into the rankings, and now he's trying to move up even further against Marlon Chito Vera, who's kind of lost 4 of his last 5 fights. Hasn't gone his way since he was in title contention a while ago. Matty, the odds show Martinez at minus 295, which I guess is a pick 'em on this card's by this card's standards. What do you think about this fight with Chito not looking the best recently, but also having a ton of high level experience under his belt?
Yeah, bro. We all know the risk betting Cheeto here. He doesn't do enough. He coasts. He doesn't fucking go for the finish when he has guys hurt. But, dude, I already know this is going to be 29-28. It's probably going to be a split. It's like, how can I not take Cheeto by decision at plus 500, dude? You know, it's like, I want to take the fucking stab on it. He's fought the higher level competition. I think he's got the better kicks. I think he's got the better durability. He wears damage better. He's not fighting Sean O'Malley here. You know, so I like the decision angle on him, but again, it feels like the dumbest bet ever. After you bet it and it loses, you feel so stupid because it's like you see this over and over again. But that's kind of why I like it based off the number and the value. It's like everyone's expecting him to just lose a decision here. And, you know, now he's facing a guy that isn't as high level as his other competition, although he is very good. I would go Cheeto by decision. So if it's a donation, it's a donation.
I'll take the money line, dude. I don't think it's crazy to think that he finishes Martinez in this spot because it's just there's something about Martinez's style and how quickly he's ascended up the rankings that feels just sort of fraudulent to me. Where I just don't think he's got the minutes in the tank at this point to win a high level fight against a guy like Chito Vera. Remember, Chito controlled and pretty clearly won 2 rounds against Pedro Munoz. Like that was in this losing.
And the Sonya Dawn fight arguably was a win, and that was a while ago. But I mean, bro,
and
I still think Chito's good. It's just he doesn't put it together all the time.
Yeah, and you flip any of these results. If he doesn't get dropped against Figueiredo, he probably wins that fight. The Ayman Zahabi fight I thought was razor thin. I actually thought he should have won the decision. Like the numbers don't look very good for Chito in that fight, but when you drop a guy and then I thought
talking about numbers. Remember the numbers on the Chito Vera versus Rob Font fight?
Yeah, and so Font landed almost 300.
The shit out of Font, but Font outstruck him by like 100 strikes probably.
But Cheeto still won that decision pretty easily, you know, and it's like
it wasn't even. You put the guys next to each other. One's beat up and bloodied, and Cheeto's like a Wolverine, bro.
It's interesting to me that this fight. I obviously, of course, Martinez. Cheeto's durability streak is why the total is so high here, but it's very weird to me. The prop that I was going to look for is Cheeto in like finish only markets type of things because I don't think Martinez. I don't think Martinez is the guy that's going to finish.
If Cheeto eats that knee from O'Malley, no one's finishing him. I'm sorry, maybe this will age badly, but the dude is different. He's just different.
Well, and he's only 33.
I was shocked when Davison Figueiredo dropped him, but he's still fine, dude.
Yeah. I still think Cheeto is in his prime at 33. Like he's at the tail end of it, but I don't think
care of himself for sure.
Yeah. And the thing that's driven me nuts about Cheeto is when he was climbing the ranks, he was this super well-rounded guy, right? Like he submitted Guido Canetti, he submitted Noel Hernandez, he got the armbar against Brian Kelleher, and I felt like you could trust him to wrestle or his striking and his vision with his eyes.
Bang, bro.
And now he's just kind of turned into this low volume counter striker, may not do enough. And these 3-round fights have been killer for him because he'll fall behind every single time. And it's like, I bet Cheeto at plus 220 and all of a sudden he's plus 400 live after round 1 because he lost, you know? So it's like, it is maddening, but I will say in my opinion, and my model's opinion, by the way, I only have Martinez minus 125 here. So much, much shorter. But I, in my opinion, this is a big step down in competition, even from Zahabi, who is a guy that has always had elite.
Zahabi's good, bro. Let's be honest. He's freaking good.
I mean, Zahabi beat Jose Aldo the fight before he beat Cheeto. So like that's and I just think because Martinez got through a 38-year-old Rob Font, like I'm not convinced. I know Matsumoto didn't get the decision, but I think you could argue Matsumoto fought Font better than Martinez did. It was just Noche UFC. Crowd going crazy. Font really didn't look very good. I'm not a Martinez guy. I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah. We got a small super chat here. Chairez sub, Moreno KO, Bobby decision. I bet Austin likes that one a little bit at least.
A little bit. We'll get to the main event, but
118 to 1's nice on that though.
We have seen now multiple that were Chairez sub or Chairez KO. Like I like the inside the distance number 2, but it's like, do you really feel good enough about either to put it in the cycle?
On this one?
Like no, with Chairez, like KO or sub.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
I feel like both are live.
I'd rather just hammer 2-3 than I don't know that'll go in the cycle. Guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button for us, and Austin will start spitting out more model plays.
I got one more left. We're gonna have to wait till you know how excited I was. I was like, "Hey, my model had a great week," and then I open this up. I'm like, "I got 4 fights, and one of them is women's bantamweight. What the hell happened here?"
Crazy.
But it's like the Dana White Contender Series alumni episode is this weekend's card. But
yeah,
what do you say, buddy? You want to go up to the main event?
Let's go. Before we go to the main, bro, let's rip a card. We still haven't done that.
Oh yeah, hopefully we get.
I'm gonna show you guys right now. We launched Home of Fight repacks on here. $60, you pull a real graded card. You might get a $30 or $40 card. You might get a $1,500 card. It's very fun. I'm going to show you guys right now how it works. Let me pull this up on a screen share, and it'll take literally 30 seconds, guys, and then we'll go to the main event here. Let me present my screen. There we go. Bang. I got to take this off.
I'm very interested for this card. I think the audience is as well.
There we go.
I haven't seen one ripped yet, so I want
to see it, Austin?
Yeah, I can.
All right. So I already paid the 60, guys. So I'm just going to click open now for the sake of the show. This is how it works. You rip a card. Hopefully we get a good card on the show. It's not a dud here.
Come on. Yeah, hopefully it's one of my guys, bro. That would be.
Come on, bro. Give me a Khabib or a freaking McGregor or a Topuria.
Macy Barber. I mean, we backed Macy a lot on the show.
We got Macy Barber. Guys, I'm going to show you how this works now since it's a card I don't want. You sell it back right away. So we're going to take our $15 loss here, or $19, $18 loss. We're going to sell the card back. It goes right back into your wallet. Let's see how much we have. We have $84 in our wallet now. So then we're going to buy a new card. Hopefully we get a better one this time. But that's the nice thing about this, guys, is you buy a card, you don't like it, you sell it back at 90% fair market value, and then you rip another card. And once you rip a card, you can keep it on your online vault or you can ship it right to your house. Please give us a good one for the show, bro. Give me like at least a
ban that guy who said this card stuff stinks because I don't even collect stuff and I'm having the time of my life right now. Randy Costa. Oh,
Randy
no.
Costa.
Man, the Zohan, dude.
No
That's a
way.
throwback.
All right, we're selling this.
Wait, oh, no, dude. I was going to say, can you mail that to me, bro? The Zohan.
I'm selling it so I can buy another one.
Right, let's go. Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Come on. Do I have enough? I have 70. We're good.
This has to be a dude or lady that you and I, this has to be one of our show.
I have, so I'm going to show you my vault, bro. I have a Conor card. I have a Dustin Poirier card. Come on. Third time's a charm.
Come on, baby.
Oh, Hamza, but this is the
silver,
problem, bro. It's a PSA 9 and it's a silver. So it's not worth a ton, but I'm going to keep this one because it is a Hamzat card.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys my cards right here, and then we'll go back to the show. So I got Poirier, I got Conor, I got a Joaquin Buckley. What is this one?
Is the art
I got a Yair Rodriguez, and then I got this Hamzat card. And all of these can be sold back, or I can literally click one and ship it right to my office or my house.
Dang. That's so cool, bro.
I love it, bro. It's so much fun. People are giving us crazy good feedback. We had someone pull a $250 card the other day. We had someone pull $150 card, $200, a $250, a $290. So we're getting some good cards out there, but it's all randomized. It all shows you the fair market value right away. It's a very credible partnership with collectibles.com. So you guys go check that out whenever you want. I'm going to put the link right here. homofightcards.com will redirect you right to the website. And like I said, guys, you can sell your card back instantly, get the funds right away, take your money back, or you can buy a new one. You can keep it online on your profile so people can see what cards you have, or you can ship it right to your house. That's the website right there, homofightcards.com if you want to check it out. It's seriously a ton of fun.
It
I'm
looks
having a
so
blast
sick.
doing it.
I would have built a shelf behind me for that Randy Costa card if you had kept it and mailed it to my address. Those are the type of cards I would
I'll
want.
pull it again. I got you. I promise. It's back in there, so it's there.
I want those type of cards, bro. That's the type of collection that I would do. Is these random dudes that only I'll.
You might do packs down the road. The nice thing about this, guys, is you're automatically pulling a graded card that's worth value. It's not like a pack where you can pull a $3 card, $5 card, every card in there. Actually, let me show you guys real quick what's available. I should have done that. But you can basically see what cards are available to pull here.
That's
Just
why I hate
30 seconds, and then we'll go back to the show.
Is all the waste. So this is such a cool program where there's really no waste. You can just sell it back for 90% of its value.
Yeah, because that's why people are loving it.
Yeah.
But I want to show you guys what's available. We got Sean O'Malley autographed gold PSA 10. This card's worth $1,500. That's in there. We got GSP. That's worth $60. We got a Habib at $636. Patty Pimblett's in there. That's kind of a buy low spot if you get Patty right now. We got a John Jones here. We're $550. So we've had a lot of people that have pulled in this range right here, like that 100 to 250 range. So I'm really waiting to see somebody pull up top here. I can't wait for that to happen.
You got a Volk somewhere in there? Volkanovski?
I think so. I'd have to scroll and find. There's Hamzat again. I don't know. But the nice thing is they're constantly restocking. So there's always going to be some sick cards coming in. There's a Peloton card for $235, I think.
Throw that comment up there. Then I would want Anton Turkai, bro. Absolutely, I would want an anti-Turk. I'm the pleasure man, bro.
There's not a promo code for it, guys, but there's actually, if you go on the site, there's a way where you can do a sweat-free pool where you can literally get your full money back if you don't like the card. You have to do a few things on the site. You have to it's like 2 or 3 deliverables on the site that you have to do. You have to like it or do a few things. But truthfully, your biggest downside, it feels like to me, is like losing $15 on a sellback, $20 on a sellback. So if people are really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a cool pro. It takes out the part of card collecting I don't really like, which is all the waste. So, Matty, thank you for sharing. That was cool. Maybe I'm going to put in, we'll see if I can rip one. Honestly, I would love to rip one on the show. The thing I'm scared most about is sharing my screen. That's the only thing that I was like, I'm like, how do I do this so I don't fumble around and look old?
We'll do your next week. We'll do one next week for you.
Yeah.
We got 2 super chats real quick, boys. We got Moreno sub decision. I'm sorry, bro, but you can't submit a -110 bet. I'm not going to pick that one, but I appreciate the super chat. And then we got a long shot one here. Marshall round 1, Pinhas round 2, Chairez round 3. That's kind of nasty, bro. I'm going to take a picture of that one.
Damn, that is pretty nasty.
Chairez doesn't get to the 3rd, but I think that's super live though in the first 2.
Can we take Schultz Pinhas ends round 2 instead? Because I love that if that's the case.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's sick. And by the way, Big Maple setting the standard of how you send the parlay with the odds so we can read it easily. Yeah, everyone take note of how Big Maple sends it.
Yeah, you can. Last comment. So you can withdraw the funds right away. So whatever's in your wallet, you can pull right back out into your Apple Pay or to your card or wherever you deposit from.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Matty, why don't we dive into this main event that I've kind of forgot about? I'm sort of distracted at this point, but now we got to go back. And it's kind of a really good main event for one that we lost in that Asu Almabayev was supposed to be in here against Brandon Moreno. Instead, it's Lonnie Kavanaugh that gets the assignment. Horiguchi wanted this one after the Albazi fight, which I think he would have been just fine turning it around, but instead it is England's prospect Kavanaugh. Matty, the odds somewhat close, I think, given the circumstances. Moreno -225 with Lonnie coming back as the dog. What do you think about this matchup, man?
I'm so torn on this fight, bro. I think Kavanaugh is so skilled, man. I love this guy. What I would say is what I said on the last show I was just on. I think this fight is very close to a pick'em if he never fought Charles Johnson.
Yeah,
I think he would be like +120 here. So I do think it's kind of a buy low spot. The guy coming off a KO loss, and he looked very good in round 1. And then if you watch his tape, he's good everywhere. He's fast, he's technical, he's skilled in the grappling. He's got takedowns. He's good everywhere. Moreno's 30, I think it's 33 now. This is 32. I don't know.
Right on the edge. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's is Kavanaugh really only a +350 on the decision? That can't be right.
That is kind of crazy. But I mean, it's
right.
Moreno's historically durable. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be right. I guess that's right because he's only plus 170. He's plus 400 on the decision. I do think Kavanaugh, but the tough part is, he does get tired. Like he did look tired before he got finished against Charles Johnson, and then this is at altitude and it's 5 rounds. I do like a Moreno 3-4-5 angle here. I think body shots, kicks to the body could be huge for him in this matchup. I also think Kavanaugh is a live dog here, so I'm kind of just cycling around here. I don't have a great answer for you guys. I'm curious to see what Austin likes.
I already played Lonnie here. I played him at plus 200, so it's down to plus 172. I have Moreno minus 123, which sounds pretty good, but the
Yeah.
most individual likely outcome I have in the fight is Lonnie plus 236. And I don't necessarily disagree with the comments we've got that Lonnie gassed out a little bit in his last fight and he's kind of had a hard time finishing.
Yeah.
And then the short notice probably doesn't help, but Moreno's a guy that I really think has struggled to find his identity, especially recently since moving to Fortis. You remember the loss to Brandon Royval at distance, which hasn't aged amazingly. Like Royval is a dog, but and then the Tatsuro Taira fight, that was his first loss by finish in UFC. And like at these smaller weight classes, the end can come very quickly. I'm going to date myself, but Renan Barão was like a world champion, and all of a sudden he was out of the sport less than 5 fights later, it felt like. So I don't necessarily know that Moreno doesn't deserve to be favored here, and probably my model's probably a little bit wrong about how short of a favorite he should be, but I think Kavanaugh at least at that 2-1 range, and even where he sits now is good value when I think he's going to be the faster guy early. The takedowns could be there. Moreno just a 64% takedown defense. And Kavanaugh knows that this is his chance to get back what was that one momentary mistake against Johnson. And it's all erased, just like Josh Van was able to erase that mistake against the same guy. And look, Johnson's big for this division. He's got good power. Like we've seen him put other guys out. It's not a crazy thing to lose in that way, especially when he looked so good up to that point. Like that's why it was so surprising. I've told you I think Kavanaugh is legit. He's the real deal. I love that Great Britain top team training out there in the UK. And he's a guy that's been training MMA since he was 5 years old. And really sort of to me is when I close my eyes and I picture this wave of fighters coming, that they're not jiu-jitsu guys or boxers or Muay Thai fighters or whatever. They've trained MMA their whole life, and Kavanaugh kind of embodies that to me. And I think he's ready for the moment. I think this number is too long, and I think he's just so skilled and good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm starting to get there on the dog side, but I can't ignore the 3-4-5 props for Moreno. So
Yeah.
I'm a little bit tough here. We got a super chat. This one's interesting, Austin. I think you might like this.
Oh, I love it.
Green decision, Cheeto Vera decision, 40-1. I think that might be the winner right here. We got one more though. Hold on.
What do we got?
Cavs sub 3-4-5 worth a sprinkle. Yes. You know what I do like is 3-4-5 fight to end by sub.
Oh yeah, take them both.
Yeah.
Kavanaugh's gas tank concerns me. Like right now, it's about a pick 'em for this fight to go the distance. I've actually got it a little bit bigger of a favorite than that.
Yeah.
If this fight went to the later rounds and someone was going to get finished, I think it would be Lonnie, which would concern me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not crazy. I mean, Kavanaugh's kicks are so dynamic, and it feels like he's almost sort of due for a finish because he got that blockhead of Felipe Dos Santos. That guy took like 200 punches from Neto Cop. His chin is simply built different that Dos Santos guy that he fought. And I really like Jose Ochoa too. So
I know that was a great performance.
Like everything was arrows up on Kavanaugh. He dominated round 1 against Johnson, and then CJ was able to turn. It felt like a minute total that Johnson really started to turn that fight around and find the finish. So I totally agree with you that if Kavanaugh had won a decision against Charles Johnson, this would be a pickup.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good value when one moment changed that.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. It's an entertaining fight for sure.
Yeah.
Go play out a number of different ways.
I'm stalling. I'm giving you guys more chances with the super chats to get picked.
Yeah. I'm going to roll with that decision lay. I think I have to just because
I love it. That's model approved long shot. It's great green decision, very decision. I like it.
Yeah, let's roll it. So let's run with it. So $50. Let's say I need to check those odds here. Let's see. So Hard Rock, I can put it in on. King Green decision. These are both Main card, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheeto Vera by decision plus 450.
Dang.
Barley Green decision plus 600. 37 to 1.
Okay.
So $50 pays 1900 ish is what his upside is. You're in, bro. I got you.
I like it. Good suggestion and a good theme as well. Well, Matty, why don't we build some other official show parlays here in a moment?
Let's go.
Do we want to do the long shot first or the safe parlay?
You want to do a round one parlay?
I was
We had
gonna
one
say
leg
this.
already, remember?
I was Oh, didn't we like Marshall in round one?
Marshall round one plus 175, I think.
I was gonna say, do you want to try to do a 2? Because we've talked about 2-3s as well. Do you want to try to do a 1-2-3?
I just hate the round 3, bro. It's just
I really like Chairez round 3 is the thing.
yeah. But I would rather go 2-3 for him. Let's start
Gandra 2, Chairez 3.
That's crazy. It could hit.
Because I told you I love that 5-minute sweat for Gandra.
Yeah. Where is Gandra? There he is. Gandra round 2 plus 325. That's already at 11 to 1. I'd rather just take Chairez inside the distance.
Well, aren't we doing a long shot?
It's still a long shot. It's like 20 to 1.
That's true.
Chairez by finish.
Wait a minute. Oh,
it's
okay.
21 to 1. Marshall round 2, Gandra round 2, Chairez finish.
Can you play 2 or 3 in your book?
I don't think I can, but let me see. We could go Chairez to win and over 1.5, but that's not really that. No, never mind.
Is there a gas bag angle that I'm forgetting here?
I mean, we could go Moreno Kavanaugh to end around 3. Or maybe Cheeto Vera down 2-0.
I mean, we just played the decision.
What about Santiago Luna, bro?
Round 3?
No. I mean, I do agree. If we're going to go round 3, I think your option is the best. All right, let's just do it. Let's do it. Chairez round 3.
What is that together? Wow. Oh my God. I've got 90 to 1 on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, let's do it. Let's run it.
Nice. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a KO. We're only playing rounds. It could be a Gandra sub. And that's kind of what I actually am leaning is I think I might ladder sub there. When he gets tired of punching Medina's blockhead and realizes he has to grab the neck that Medina never defends.
I think I love the sub there.
The Gandra, I do too.
Yeah, I'm going to play that in the cycle, I think.
Yeah,
there's a 3-2-1 or 1-2-3 parlay. Chairez round 3, Gandra round 2, Marshall round 1.
Yeah. Now we gotta. I feel some pressure, dude. Say Parlay's 1-4 or 5. It's red hot.
Let's
it
go.
Could not be hotter. And I've kind of been doing the same model, or I've been using the same formula where I take a money line I like, and then a fight to start round 2 that most people bet the under.
So wait, say it one more time.
So a money line that I like, and then a fight to start round 2 that most people don't think will.
The Gandra fight.
Yeah.
What money?
I don't know if I trust Medina's jiu-jitsu that much, even.
I know. What money line are you leaning? Chairez. Or no, you said you didn't like that. Or you didn't love it.
Oh, the money lines this week are just so tough, dude. They're brutal.
Francis Marshall's up to -900.
He is.
Oh my God. I think Chairez is the best money line play personally. I just don't see him losing that fight.
What do you think about Reyes?
Relative to the odds, like obviously you can take a -500, a -900, a -650 in Quinonez, but like I think relative to the odds, I think Chairez is the best money line play.
Yeah,
It's your choice, though, bro.
Yeah, I'm tinkering with some stuff here.
We go,
Do you see it? Do you see a finish in Perez Chiasson?
I mean, I like a lean by decision, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's minus 290 to go the distance. Model's almost exactly in line with that.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that at all. And
I
then
think you go Chairez money line, and then either the Perez fight to hit a certain round or the Gandra.
I'm worried about Chairez like losing the decision if he's gonna lose. So I prefer to play violence bets there. I kind of like Reyes' money line at minus 250. I don't How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, hey, because if I go Perez, Chiasson goes the distance, and
Yeah.
then Reyes, that's minus 114. That feels good enough to call it a day.
Reyes minus 240. What was the second leg?
The Chiasson Perez fight goes the distance. Well, you're gonna get a better number than I can find because I've got Reyes almost at minus 250.
I got minus 113.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to shop. Before I put that on the Discord, I'm going to shop around a little bit because I think I could get better numbers than what FanDuel has, which is not often the case.
Yeah. There it is right there.
I like it, though. Reyes. Wait, she's our only Perez on the card this week, right?
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay, we're good. All right, so we're going for 5 out of 6 with the safe parlay. We're going Javier Reyes money line, Eileen Perez, Macy Chiasson doesn't go the distance. What's the Discord? So I'm a fight Discord. I actually gave the link out today on X at Swaim3, but we'll also have a link in the episode description.
Yes, sir.
Partial round run is sharp. I thank you. We thought so too. Seems like that's kind of a kill spot. And Marshall hasn't gotten an early finish in a bit, but I think he's got good power. So
Plus 175 is nice.
yeah, I definitely think it's a more than attainable odds given what's in front of him. But I appreciate you guys joining us for today's show. We've as usual, we kind of find some diamonds in the rough, even when the card seems a little tough to bet at first. But we will be back again next week. Matty, it's a big one next week. UFC 326, Holloway versus Oliveira 2.
Let's go.
BMF belt. I'm like, God, that fight is sick. I
know.
haven't even checked. We got Kaio, Renier de Ritter. Oh, there's Howo.
That's such a good fight, bro.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things about RDR right now in South Florida, but that's a horrible matchup for him.
Yeah. He's training over at Killcliff, isn't he? RDR?
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things about his recovery right now and just how locked in he is.
Interesting.
That's a 3-round. That's a 3-rounder, right?
Yeah, that'll help him. I think, given what we saw last time. But until then, the sick card next week. We'll be back Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Hope you guys enjoy the fights on Saturday. We got 13 of them to look forward to. We'll hope for clean weigh-ins and all of that good stuff. Reminder that you can follow us at Home of Fight. We got HOF picks as well. Make sure we rip some cards. That was so cool with the collectible stuff as well. Lots of good stuff going on in the Homo Fight family here. We appreciate you guys being a part of it. Until next time, guys, hope all your bets cash. Best of luck, and may the scoring be in your favor.
Peace out, fellas.